Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking into something pretty fascinating, let's call it, hidden cost of overcoaching.
Yeah, it's an interesting angle. We're drawing from a session led by Terence Hughes at a Premier League academy.
Right. The session was called From Players to Performers to People. Really sets the stage, doesn't it?
It does. It hints at a broader development goal than just skills.
So our mission here, for everyone listening, is to kind of unpack how maybe too much direction can, backfire.
And why giving people, whether they're athletes or, well, anyone learning something, that space for creativity and independence is so important.
Exactly. It applies way beyond just sports. So let's talk about the setup of this session. It sounds different.
Oh, definitely. The staff asked the usual questions, aims, equipment needed, how involved should the coaches be, standard stuff.
And Hughes' response.
Really minimalist. He just wanted an open space. No specific equipment mentioned.
No cones, no drills laid out.
Apparently not. And crucially, he wanted the coaches fully engaged, but alongside the players, not like directing from the sidelines.
Wow. Okay, that's definitely not the norm in a high-level academy setting, is it? Very structured, usually.
Not at all. It's about experimentation, presence, not just executing pre-planned routines.
You can just imagine the coaches sort of looking at each other, like, okay, what now?
Right. But then you hear about the reaction afterwards, especially from the head of the academy.
Yeah, tell me about that.
He was apparently quite surprised, but in a good way. He commented on the players' energy.
What did he say?
That they were bouncing off the walls with enthusiasm.
Bouncing off the walls. That's a strong reaction. Makes you think, right? Was that burst of energy directly linked to the freedom they were given?
It really suggests that, doesn't it? Less instruction, maybe more intrinsic motivation, more joy in just playing and exploring.
And this seems to lead right into Hughes's big insight from the session.
Absolutely. It's a powerful quote he had. I realize we've been asking them to perform while training them to be robots.
Oof, that hits hard. Perform like artists, maybe, but trained like machines.
Exactly. It highlights this huge gap between executing set tasks, even executing them well, and truly understanding, adapting, responding creatively on the fly.
So it's like we drill them to follow instructions perfectly.
And then we're surprised when they can't think for themselves or come up with a creative solution when plan A doesn't work.
Yeah, it undermines adaptability, intuition, all those things that actually make someone great, not just functional.
And the source is clear. This isn't just a football thing.
Right. It says this happens everywhere, in sports, in movement, in life.
Which resonates, I think. Anyone who's learned anything has probably felt that sometimes. Too much guidance can feel restrictive.
It leaves no room for your own discovery, those little aha moments you get when you figure something out yourself.
And that connects to the Sambi analogy they mentioned briefly.
Oh, yeah, Sambi. How does that fit in?
Well, it's presented not just as, like, technical skill development, fancy footwork.
Right.
But as something fundamentally about agency, about creative freedom, the ability to respond to the rhythm, to your partner, not just repeat memorized steps.
So improvisation, adaptation.
Exactly. That capacity to react authentically in the moment. That's the spirit Hughes was trying to unlock, it seems.
It shifts the whole goal then, away from just manufacturing bodies, as the source puts it.
Yeah, like producing athletes to a specific mold.
Towards growing humans. I like that phrase.
Me too. It emphasizes holistic development. Thinking, adapting, creating, not just executing, developing the whole person.
Which brings us back to that core question the source leaves us with.
The big one. Are you building freedom or just function? That's something for anyone coaching, teaching, parenting, even just managing their own learning to really chew on.
Are we just building people who can follow orders or people who can think independently and solve problems creatively when things get messy? It's so easy, isn't it, with the best intentions, to provide so much guidance that we accidentally shut down that exploration.
We try to smooth the path, remove obstacles, but maybe sometimes the obstacles are the path,
Yeah. What if the deepest learning actually happens when we step back a bit? Allow for some of that uncertainty, that unknown.
It's definitely a challenging thought. Makes you reconsider how we approach development.
Absolutely. Something to think about. Thanks for exploring this today.